Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. McCobb, and welcome back to my movie library. I got to be honest with you guys. I wasn't really planning to make. I'm doing two videos in one day. I wasn't really planning on two, but yeah, there's been a lot of discussion going on lately, and I just thought I'd kind of pitch in, just give my little 2 cents about this, and I just hope anybody gives a damn what I think. But anyway, so here we go. Now we all know that if you're a 4K collector or just a collector in general, okay, it's been big news that Amazon are going to be putting out 4K steelbooks of some Lionsgate releases. Now, the really big one that got announced was The Devil's Rejects. This year being the 20th anniversary, I was really hoping we would get, like a nice, beautiful box set, kind of like what we got for House of a Thousand Corpses. But now, if I remember correctly, I think that was a Best Buy exclusive, so no Best Buy, so that's why we're not getting something like that. But anyway, so Amazon is doing a 4K steelbook of Devil's Rejects, which is coming out in October. They just announced too that they're going to do Saw 2, 3, and 4 on 4Ks, and I'm just, there may be more coming. I did, however, put in a pre-order for Rocky Horror Picture Show. But the fact of the matter is I did put in for a pre-order for Devil's Rejects, and at first that was because I thought that it was going to be, I was hoping maybe that it was going to be the unrated cut of the movie. Once I found out that no, it's not the unrated cut, it's going to be the theatrical cut, I went ahead and I just canceled my pre-order. This is my copy of The Devil's Rejects right here. Whoops. Wowee, big surprise, right? This is what I got. Let me show you real quick what I'm working with here. Very simple, very basic. Okay. Got this here. And on the back, this is the unrated version of the movie. It says right there, unrated. And when you open it up, okay, I made kind of a Blu-ray DVD combo with mine. So there's the Blu-ray DVD with the movie and all the bonus features, and the documentary 30 Days in Hell, the making of The Devil's Rejects. And I know some people might say, well, why did you need the DVD of the movie? You could have just just have the Blu-ray and just keep the documentary. It's like, well, because on this DVD, there are a lot of, well, not a lot, but quite a few bonus features on that DVD that did not get transported over to the Blu-ray. Now, those bonus features will be imported over to the 4K. Certain bonus features like the Morris Green Show segment, the Mary the Monkey Girl commercial, the Captain Spawn Christmas commercial, and some other features. I just can't remember what all they are. A number of features did get imported onto the Blu-ray. You got deleted scenes. You got the commentaries, one with Rob Zombie, one with Bill Moseley, Sid Haig, and Sherry Moon Zombie, and stuff like that. You got a couple of bonus features that got imported over here, but not a lot. There's also, what was it, music video, outtakes, all kinds of stuff. So that's why I kept the DVD, and I know that stuff is going to get imported onto the 4K disc and the Blu-ray and stuff like that. But here's the thing. I know, like, some people, well, if they're going to import all those bonus features and stuff like that, but here's the problem. Anybody who knows me, anybody that's followed my channel for a while and stuff, if you see me do 4K reviews or talk about movies or, collector's editions that I have and stuff like that, I'm not a fan of theatrical cuts. Normally, I mean, if a movie comes out and the theatrical cut is the one and only cut, that's perfectly fine. I'll accept that, But usually, I'm one of those kind of people, whenever a movie comes out and, it comes out in physical media and I find out that there's a director's cut, I always want that longer cut. I want the, call it what you will, director's cut, unrated cut, extended cut, call it what you like. But I'm always a fan of that. Only like 7 times out of 10, I will always take the longer cut it's very, very rare that I ever prefer a theatrical cut over an unrated cut. You know, like, I mean, not even a handful of them, you know, like Army of Darkness. I do think the theatrical cut is better on that movie. Exorcist 3, I think, is better. You know, the theatrical cut is better. Stuff like that, you know, but that's just my personal preference. But, so anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I'm not interested in getting the 4K of, right, at least right now. Another reason is I've been a 4K collector for quite a while. And I've played this game before. And if you're 4K collectors or just physical media collectors in general, a lot of you, probably just about all of you, already know what I'm talking about. Okay? This has been a game that has gone on so damn long that what ends up happening, and to be truthfully honest with you, I thought that, you know, we had advanced to the point now that, you know, we were over this, you know. But it's like back in the day, what would end up happening is they would put stuff out on 4K, and it would be movies that we knew that there were extended cuts, director's cuts, and all that kind of stuff. And what they would do is they would put a movie out on 4K, but it would just always be the theatrical cut, you know. And then in interviews and all that kind of stuff, you know, it was always the same excuse. And it seems like it's the same excuse here. You know, oh, well, you know, yeah, the elements aren't there, blah, blah, blah. We can't do the unrated cut. It's just not possible. Everything else, yeah, this is all we could do. This is the best we can get and all this kind of stuff. Heard that story so many times. Heard it from Scream Factory a number of times. Heard it from Kino Lorber a number of times. Heard it from studios a number of times and everything else. You know, we can't do the Tobe Hooper, you know, international director's cut of Life Force. That's not possible. You know, we can't do that. Then what ends up happening? A couple of years go by, Arrow puts out, you know, Life Force on 4K, and now Imprint's getting ready to put out Life Force on 4K. And guess what? The extended Tobe Hooper director's cut is on 4K. But back in the day when Scream Factory put it out, no, that's just not possible. We can't do that. You know, no, we can't do that. So what ended up happening? Ended up having to buy Life Force again. I'm not buying the Imprint version, even though as gorgeous as it is. That thing is huge. It's going to take up a ton of room, and it's very, very expensive. But we've seen it again, you know, like Kino Lorber. Oh, we can only do the theatrical cut of Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You know, we couldn't do the 3-hour cut. It just wasn't possible. We can't do that. What ends up happening? Arrow just put out a 4K with the 3-hour cut. You know, we've seen this play out a number of times. Either what will happen is, most likely what usually ends up happening is one of the overseas boutique companies, they get their hands on the rights to it, and then they do the work. They do the 4K restoration, and then they put it out. And there are other movies, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking like, you know, how long is it going to be before maybe like, you know, and I'm sitting here thinking about this too. It's like, okay, you know, how long is it going to be? Is it going to be a year, maybe 2 years or something? I mean, I can live with this for another year or two while I'm waiting for like Imprint, Viavision, or Second Sight, or I don't know, Umbrella or somebody else, you know, I can wait a little while before one of them comes up and announces, hey, we're going to do a 4K of Devil's Rejects. And guess what? We did the, you know, unrated cut, or we did both cuts. So you can get both cuts of the movie on 4K or something like that. So it's just, you know, it bugs me. And, you know, just... You know, I'm so sick of this. And I'm sorry about my air conditioner keep cutting on and off. I'm sorry. I live in Arizona. But I'm just so sick of this game. I thought we were really over this. You know, I thought, you know, I have no gripes if, you know, they put like a, you know, a theatrical and a director's cut or unrated cut. You know, I have no gripes with that. And I know that there are people out there who, I know there are like real, you know, movie purists out there who are still going to buy, you know, these steel books because they're like, you know, hey, it's preserving movie history. and stuff like that. That's all fine and good, but just to me, I'm sorry, I'm just not into that. You know, I think it's cool when I get an edition that has both cuts, but it's just for me personally, like I said, you know, like 7 times out of 10, I'm always going to go for that extended cut or unrated cut, director's cut, call it what you will. And so, yeah, I'm just, you know, I understand why some people want it, and I know some people are still going to buy it, never mind what I say, and that's fine. You know, if you want it, you buy it. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. You know, I swear to God, I'm not, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, I just feel like, it just feels like, you know, we've been through this song and dance so many times that it just feels like it would just make more sense to just wait and probably a year, couple of years, something like that. We'll turn around and, you know, either Lionsgate themselves or one of these like overseas boutique companies, you know, they'll get a hold of it. They'll get a hold of the rights, and then they'll put it out and probably do both cuts of the movies on 4K. And it just seems to me, it just seems like, you know, may as well just save the money right now and just, you know, work on other things. You know, upgrade a couple of other movies you want to get right now, or, you know, get a hold of some movies you don't already have. You know, get you some new stuff. You know, you know, don't make it. You know, I swear to God, you know, because I know I've been there. Don't make everything always be about, you know, just upgrading. You know, get you some new stuff every now and again, because my God, it is gonna put you in a funk. You know, as somebody who over the last number of years has upgraded so many movies from DVD to Blu-ray or from Blu-ray to 4K or something like that, as somebody who's done it so much over the last number of years, trust me, you really, really need to, you know, that's why I'll break off and go, you know, hit up a Kino Lorber sale when they got one, or, you know, I'll try to find something that I don't already have, you know, because, man, it really does. It'll really burn you out on this hobby real quick. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting ready to start going off here. I'll just leave it at this. I've already gone on. It's already past 12 minutes. And, but yeah, just, you know, I guess in a way, this is kind of, I could kind of sort of make this my review of the Amazon Lionsgate 4K Steelbook for Devil's Rejects, and probably Saw 2, 3, and 4. It's just for me. It's just not for me. You know, I appreciate that they're doing some new bonus features on some of these. I think a couple of the Saw movies have some new bonus features. I appreciate that they're importing all the previous bonus features. It just, you know, but here's the thing. We're also, like, we know that there's just going to be re-release after re-release after re-release. And we know that at some point that, you know, we're going to get it. You know, if you want the unrated cut of Devil's Rejects on 4K, we're going to get it. You're just going to have to wait a while longer for it. You know? So, but that's just it for me. You know, I'm not spending the money on that. There's other things I could be buying. Like I said, you know, I'm looking forward to getting Rocky Horror Picture Show on 4K. I'd like to get that. I got, you know, other stuff, you know, like Savi's Night of the Living Dead. I can't wait to get my hands on Nightmare on Elm Street and all that other kinds. And there's other stuff too, you know. I mean, I just keep seeing more and more stuff. So it's not like there's nothing to buy. So, but anyway, so that's just it. Yeah, you know, I thought we were beyond this by now. I thought, you know, but anyway, so yeah, I'm not going for these right now. I'm just waiting until, you know, either Lionsgate themselves or you know, like I said, one of the overseas boutique companies get a hold of these and they'll put out the unrated cuts, because that, at the end of the day, that's really what I want, you know. So anyway, so if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, would you mind leaving it a like? And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And that's going to do it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. See you all later.